Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Monday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go to our friends over in South Australia and, of course, speak with one of our sponsored teams in particular. And, of course, that's the Brighton Lacrosse Club, of course, the State League Women's competition. And, of course, after a very slow first half against Glenelg, they absolutely put them to the sword in the second half, of course, winning fairly easily around about 7 goals. And, of course, we've got 4 very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks, all you, for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Well, I'll get each of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position all you played on Grand Final Day.
Yeah, so I'm Taylor and I play attack.
I'm Colleen and I play defence.
I'm Mel, I'm also attack down the table.
And I'm Addie and I play goalie.
Tell us about the Grand Final. I guess, as I said in the intro, got off to a pretty slow start. Sort of teased Glenelg a bit, I think, when I was watching that game. But you power away in the second half. But tell us a bit about the Grand Final.
Yeah, I think we had to get the nerves out, I think, in the beginning. We've played a few Grand Finals. I think we were just kind of like, okay, here we go. Let's, we settled into it. I don't think we really came out like, yeah, I don't know. I think it was more of the most relaxed start to a grand final that we've had in the last few years. So, but then once we're like, okay, here we go, let's kick it into gear, and we just pulled it together, for the second half, and took it away.
And I know I mentioned it just before, but did you sort of tease and toyed with like Glenelg a bit, in the first half, sort of, maybe give them a chance, like, oh, maybe they got a chance to win, and then you just went bang and kicked into gear and just blew them away in the second half?
Yeah, unfortunately, I would say, we weren't trying to toy with them. It might have looked like that, but no, I mean, they came out to a great effort on them. They came out with a very strong start. We had our game plan, and it was really just, let our defense settle in and know that, we've got this, and we never once doubted that any of our teammates. So it was really awesome to see, because that was probably one of the first times that we actually were down this season. So it was awesome to see that, we didn't doubt each other, and we really lifted and had each other's backs.
Yeah,
and then
we
really
just had to inch that back. Yeah, we just let it slip a little bit, and then but I don't think there was ever any. We didn't feel like we weren't in control of it. We just had to make sure that we played our game, and as soon as we were like, let's play our game, and we took control again and just inched it back.
I know you versed them in the second semi-final and won that. Obviously, you had the game break or the week off before you played them in the grand final again. Did that week off help you at all at any stage?
I think it was pretty beneficial, actually. We had a 3-goal game with them in the first round of finals, and I think it was pretty good to sort of take a step back and reflect on how that game went, and then hyper focus on the grand final. It was nice to train together one last time as a team, and then give it our all in the grand final.
I want to know all 4 opinions on this one. I felt the game was over by the time you were probably 2 or 3 goals up against Glenelg. When did you thought you got a chance to sort of enjoy yourselves, knowing that the game was pretty much all over?
Well, the game's never over. It's never over, but I think there was, after that definite momentum shift, it was like, right, okay, I think we were just very confident, and we were on a roll. But I remember standing off in the last quarter and just thinking, this is awesome, just to stand back and have a look and know that we were in control of the game, and it was nearly done. There was the last half of the last quarter to go, and this is
And there's a moment where Cassidy gets a goal and she's not even looking, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is happening. She's just behind her head, and she gets it in, and I'm like, okay, so that's good. Yes,
yeah, but I definitely don't ever think you can let up on them. If we let them back in for a second, they, the momentum would have shifted to them. So I mean, definitely with Glenelg and our rivalry, it's never over until that final whistle blows.
I know it's a pretty big and pretty special day for the club, because I think he's won completely everything that was on the day, that was on offer. in regards to premierships. How was it like afterwards?
Great. It was really awesome to see because it was most of our women's teams that actually did do all of the winning that weekend. So it was really awesome to see. Yeah, so most of them. You know, some of the men's teams did win, but it was awesome to see. You know, all of the women's teams, so our Div 2, Div 1, and State League women actually won. And it's a testament to our coach, Trish Adams, who actually played Div 2, coaches Div 1, and coaches State League. So she had the trifecta that weekend, which, you know, I don't know how many people have ever done. But
medals.
yes, 3 medals.
And we had our 3 juniors, Tay,
Sure.
Indy, and Elle, whose last year is in juniors. They played and won their under-18s grand final, and then played in league a few hours later. And then we had an under 13.
13. Yes,
Yeah.
13,
yes, yeah.
And it was Div 1 as well, so 2.
2 under 13
Yeah.
teams. Yeah.
It's a great day for the girls.
Yeah.
So I need to ask you, Tay, about this one. You mentioned that you played in the 18s grand final, which you won pretty easily as well. Watched that, looking to score afterwards. And obviously you backed up for the State League. Now, after you won the 18s, did you get much time to celebrate with your 18s teammates at all before you had to, you know, get back to focusing on trying to win another one?
Yeah, you got a fair amount of time just to like celebrate, get your medals and relax, and then, you know, get prepared for the next one. It's a pretty quick changeover, but you get enough time to be like, all right, got another one to go. And under 18s, it was quite a good game to play. Like we won quite, like it was a good game, and so it was made me feel nice and prepared for the next one. So it was good.
Tell us a bit about your triple premiership coach.
Trish. Trish is amazing. The amount of hours that she puts in to a season, and to do it not just with our team but across 3 different teams is just incredible. I don't know how she does it. Tay,
I was like,
Tay's
coach
mum.
or mum?
It's Tay's mum, so you would know a lot about the hours that go on behind closed doors. And I know there's always sleepless nights when she has to make cuts for teams. There's a lot of pain that also, you know, that goes into a lot of the work that she does that we don't notice. But, you know, we get to celebrate, you know, every week, and especially at the end of the season. But yeah, she's just amazing. I don't think anybody's achieved, like I can't think of anyone that would have achieved like 3 senior women's premierships in one day. Like, and not just, you know, not just coaching 3 different teams, but playing and coaching as well. It's just phenomenal.
And Tay, you might as well tell us about your 18s coach as well.
My 18s coach is Colleen.
Oh, right. Well,
Pretty amazing. Her voice carries, so you can hear her all over the field cheering us on. So she was awesome. It was such an amazing year.
so Colleen, so it sounds like now you're a premiership player and a premiership coach on the same day. So which one's more special?
I would have to say that they're special, like separate, like different. They're not like, they don't mean the same thing to me. It's awesome to have helped a team all year achieve and grow and be able to come out and win. So it's, you know, the more of the mentoring side. So that's really awesome to see because we had some of the young girls coming up playing. Tay's younger sister was also on the team. So it's good to see girls that just came out of under 15s playing with some of those that we're gonna, you know, age out of juniors. But then also like being able to play and, you know, take the field. You know, to me, there's nothing better than still being able to play, but to still be able to give back to, you know, the club that's given me so much is definitely, you know, different experiences, but they definitely mean a lot.
What have you learned from coaching that you've been taking to your playing this year?
So what I've learned coaching, different from playing, would be just like have to let things go. You can't control everything as much as, you know, I would have loved to have taken the field, you know, and help them out at under 18s. You kind of can't. So you just have to like, you know, you can control what you can control. So I think really just settling in and understanding that, you know, I can only control so much. while coaching and also while playing. Like I can only control so much. And so I just have to, let it take its course.
So, well, I might get the team to introduce, your fellow teammate next to you then.
Everyone, this is Zephyr. He's just joined us. She's come in late. Zephyr's my daughter.
Yeah.
One of them.
I can see all you're wearing your Premiership medals around your necks there. So the question I want to ask you is, how long did you wear your Premiership medals around your necks for after the game? And did any of you sleep with it?
Yes. Definitely slept with it. Definitely didn't take it off for 3 days. Monday. I probably took it off Tuesday morning before I had to head back to work.
Colleen also kept her uniform on the whole time.
Did you really, Colleen?
I did see that the Melbourne footy player that just the captain of Melbourne, I did see that he was out in his boots.
Oh,
His playing boots.
Next year.
I took those off.
Who got to hold the shield first?
These two, our captains.
Yeah, yes.
And Beth, our other captain as well.
So I want to ask the two captains that are there, how special was it to hold the shield first before the rest of the team swarmed onto you?
Well, it's special. It's always special, but it's always special to come back to the team with it. It's so our team is such a team, and I think everyone played such a big part in our whole season and our grand final as well. It's always an absolute pleasure to walk it back to the team and hand it over to them. It doesn't feel right just holding it by yourself.
I'm just gonna second what Mel said. It's great getting it, but it's really a team effort. So we didn't win it by ourselves along with Beth. Like we need everybody else there to help hold it up. So it's it's team effort, but it is nice.
I have to ask as well, who got to hold the 18s one? Was it? I'm pretty sure that was a trophy, wasn't it?
So I'm a captain along with India and Elle, who also played in state league with me, and so we all got to hold. It's a trophy, so we got to hold the trophy together, and it was awesome.
So Taya, I need to ask you this as a follow-up then, concerning yours one was a trophy. Now I know you're not meant to do this during COVID times, but did you kiss the cup at any stage?
It's not a cup, so no.
Oh.
More like a wooden.
Yeah, like a
track. Yeah.
Oh right.
I couldn't kiss
weird.
the lady, but I don't know about that.
How did Ori get involved in lacrosse, and why did you choose it? Colleen, you don't have to answer this because you answered this one last time.
We'll start with Zach.
That goes with me.
I guess Mum has always played as well, and she's played for Australia, so I guess a stick was in my hand pretty much since I was born. So it was hard not to be attracted to the sport, and I think I've just had friends and made connections along the way, so it's really drawn me in the whole time and just wanting to push myself. There's so many avenues you can take as well. Yeah, mine's pretty much the same. Mum has played in the Australian team, my auntie has, Dad and everyone has played, so it just felt like obvious that I was going to play lacrosse. I think I tried playing sport for a year and I was like, no, another one. So I was like, lacrosse is it. It's just been so amazing to be able to do it with my whole family. Like I play with my sister and Mum coaches me, so it's such a family sport and I love it. So.
Yeah, for me, it was Dad that played. So our Saturdays were spent as a family out at lacrosse watching him ever since I was born. And then as soon as I could, I played. I think I was 8. Yeah, when I first played a game. So yeah.
I was the youngest in my family, and my parents were sick of watching my siblings play soccer. So I was the first one to play lacrosse in my family. And obviously I was just pretty drawn to it and stuck with it, and it brought me to Australia, and I now live here and play lacrosse for the rest of my life.
What made you think lacrosse?
Honestly, my parents were just bored of soccer. So they said, they do something. They wanted me to do something that was still outside, rather than being stuck in a gym somewhere. So, it was pretty local and new to my town. So, did it.
Obviously, you mentioned that you're, at the start that you're the goalkeeper of the team, which I must say the best goalkeeper in the state right now, being part of the, the winning team. Is there a particular save that you've made this year that stands out to you the most?
Probably most recently in the grand final. I think it was in the second quarter, maybe. Yeah, in the second quarter. Karen Mortimer was just on the doorstop, and it was my first save of the game. It was also the first grand final I've ever played in. So I think the jitters were out at that point, and I made my first save, and it just felt pretty special. And it made me feel like I, one, deserved to be there, but two, like, could make a save in a grand final. So
Did you doubt yourself?
no, no, but I don't know. I just never had been there, and I never had that sort of pressure of playing in a grand final on myself. So yeah, I think that was my first save of the game, and then I sort of felt like I had settled in after that point. So
Then they kept coming.
yeah.
Now, you all mentioned right at the start what position you'll play on the field. If you had a preferred position, we love to convince your coaches to put you next year. Where would that be?
Same.
Anywhere but goalie.
I mean, I'm an attacker. I play midfield. I just need people.
Yeah, I mean, I played defense in the grand final, but throughout the season, you're midfield, and so
Same with me.
kind of wherever you need me on the day and what's going to make the team better, we're happy for you. I'll be there.
I'll stay in the goal, I think.
I will not stand in the goal.
I'll stay right there.
And what does the sport of lacrosse mean to all five of you, and especially being there at Brighton?
I don't know. It's become such a part of my life. It's hard to really put into words what like the sport it means. But I guess being at Brighton just means family. Like you guys are all my family, whether you're actually blood. I think you just create such good, strong connections. It's just, and you walk in and you immediately feel like you're at home. And I think that's something that you don't find anywhere else, or you don't find in, I don't know, doing anything else other than sport. I think sport's really special for that, especially for cross.
So amazing. I feel like I've gotten closer to my family, like being able to do the things that they did when they were little, and like playing with my sister has just been so amazing. Like I love playing with her, except for on the other side of the field, but that's okay. Celebrating with her is so amazing. And like my friends, like I've had like made the best friendships out of lacrosse that I could have possibly imagined, and then such an amazing people and such an amazing culture at Brighton, and I love it so much.
Yeah, I would definitely have to third that. It's definitely family in the sense of, I wouldn't say that I was this close with everybody on, my team back in the States where I played, whereas anyone here you could call any time of the day, anything, you need anything, any of them would drop whatever they're doing to help you. So it's just amazing to see that. I also met my partner through lacrosse. So it's like, so did Addie. So it's just, in a sense that like it's family, but it's also like actually now my family, and then his dad plays. So it's just, it's family. It's home.
Yeah, that's home. Yeah, I feel like I've raised my kids in the surrounds of the lacrosse club and the family that's there and all the people, and it's like, I couldn't ask for a better environment. It's like a million extended hands, that are helping you with your kids and keeping an eye on your kids, and kids making those connections, playing with each other and growing up together. And then when it comes to being able to play with my daughters, I just think being in an environment with them where sport teaches you so much about yourself on so many different levels, and the triumphs that you go through and everything that's tough about sport that you can then translate into life. It's so special being there with them, seeing them go through it, doing it with them, and then seeing them flourish in life because of everything that this club has taught them and what it's been there and offered for them. So I think that's really special for me.
Yeah, family. No, I would say, I guess being so far away from my actual immediate family, finding a group of women that are so like-minded like myself, who are compassionate and competitive, and they're just like the most beautiful humans ever. But yeah, being at Brighton has really opened my eyes to a special group of people, and playing lacrosse has brought me across the world. So I'd say it's a pretty special sport, and to be able to play it in like a pretty amazing country is, yeah, we're the lucky ones, I reckon.
Which of the premierships is more special, considering, you know, the state league team has won a lot of premierships in lacrosse?
And for me, was it 2018, I think, when we were more so the underdogs, and our team was like half of our team were like underage. They were our baby bombers. And, you know, each week there's a 50-50 ratio where you have to like match the amount of juniors to seniors. And we would struggle with that, even having enough senior players. And then we broke through after not being minor premiers and took out the grand final that year. I think that was it 2019?
2019.
Yeah, 2019. Yeah, that was really special for me. Yeah, but they're all special.
Okay.
There's something different about each of them, but that one's the one that was just like, whoa, what have we just done?
Yeah. For me, I guess mine would, I mean, they're all special differently, but like, I don't think anything ever beats your first one.
Yeah.
So to me, my first one, when I first came over here in 2016, that one's pretty special to me. Just, you know, it's your first one ever. So just remember it a bit different, but remember them all.
I probably think that the last one we played is probably one of my favorite. I mean, I've obviously played in the team for all the ones we've won so far. And my first one, I think I was just so nervous, and I've been nervous every other time. But I don't know, I feel like I contributed the most this year than I have any other year. So I think it was really special.
Yeah, great.
I think the first one I got to play with Mum and Indy. I think that was really special. So my sister Indy as well. I don't know, there's something else just that adds to the field. I guess Mum and I would have a great connection in attack, and my sister runs mid, and then she comes up, and then that's just added to as well. We always know where each other are, and I think the first year that we played together was
2018.
2018, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's 2018.
This one, it's my only one. Yeah, no, it was pretty special, and yeah, it was a great season and all, so definitely this year.
Now let's finish with a couple of light-hearted questions about the team. Now, before I do that, now I'm going to particularly ask the two younger ones in the group. Now, both of you mentioned that you got sisters that play the sport of lacrosse. Now, I have to ask, and I'd always ask when I have siblings on the show, which is, who's the better lacrosse player out of you and your sisters?
My sister, oh, 100%. She's played for Australia already, so she's already got one under the belt.
I don't know, I feel like me and Jade are so different. Like I couldn't compare us in any, like she plays defense, I play attack. I don't see her on the field when I'm saying, you know, I talked to her after and said, good job. Yeah, like that's it. I don't think you can compare how we like play.
So Tay, do you ever play against her at training?
Yes.
And it's pretty funny.
It is hilarious. You know, you're like, oh, I want to go as hard, but it's just sister. You're like, I'll go. She's like, your elbow me. I'm like, yeah, I know.
There's always little comments. We can hear you guys are just looking off.
There was one time when we scrimmaged each other, and I'm like, Addie was coaching Tay, I was coaching Jade. Jade's running down Tay, and I'm like, get her. I'm like, come on, you can get her.
And she checks me and she strips me.
Oh, yeah, it was so, and then I was just like, oh.
Who had the most embarrassing moment on the field this season, and what was it?
We had a few people, I wouldn't say they're really embarrassed, but we had a few people, I think it was even in the grand final, that just started going the other way, and you're like,
Cassidy. Yes.
Jesse, we're actually going the other way. But then there was also a funny one where it was wet and rainy out. Tay had actually slipped and fallen on the ground, and Haley was like, passing to her, and Tay's on the ground, like, I'm not ready.
I'm not going to catch
Like, I'm on the ground.
I remember that.
So that was like, yeah.
Don't mind me.
Now, who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
Kelly.
Kelly's
pretty
yeah,
funny.
she's always
She's
funny. Yeah.
Kelly's, yeah.
She's like, she doesn't mean to be a comedian.
No,
No,
She just is funny.
she invented our most favourite word, which is nervy.
Nervy.
Nervy. It's just in our vocabulary now.
Not Kelly.
Best singer is she will sing, or like Kelly will just sing.
Yeah.
Pauline's definitely the loudest.
Yeah. Not the most heard.
I think it depends on the night. Like you get certain people that are just, you
I
know,
think it depends on the genre.
yeah, like you get some people that are just, you know, the music hits different one night and you're like, they're killing it. And then, you know, could be Mel next weekend, just killing it.
Especially with the youth players on the team. I'm assuming they're into their TikToks.
Oh, aren't they?
Eloise and India,
Yes.
especially.
So I have to ask, who's into their TikToks, and is any of them TikTok famous?
Trish loves the TikTok.
Oh,
I mean, there was some TikToking being done in the locker room before the game.
Yeah.
For some of, and
Grand final, we're definitely.
I think Indy's she gets maybe 1,000 views.
wow.
oh,
Sometimes more, like it's good.
Kel, Cass,
Yeah, I'd say Eloise.
She loves her.
Yeah,
She was the OG.
she's the OG too.
I think one of hers went
Oh, we'll have to find it.
We'll have to download TikTok.
Don't lie, you have TikTok.
any in the 18s team we should know about?
Although Indy's already in it, and now
Oh,
has
right.
but I don't think anyone else really do it.
Maybe some of the younger ones.
Yeah, the young ones secretly do it, but I'm not sure.
Now, any pre-game superstition or ritual?
Pregame superstitions.
Yeah, it sort of starts on Thursday morning. If we have a Friday game, it sort of starts on a Thursday for me.
Okay.
Pretty particular about things.
Everything.
Everything.
Stick in the car the same way.
Yeah. I could really start at like 7 a.m. on a Thursday, and like I have to drive the same way home from places, and I have to eat the same thing, and yeah.
And she nearly lost her hair tie.
Yes.
Right before grand final.
Yep, the
Yeah.
Wednesday night training before grand final, I nearly lost my lucky black hair tie, and we had the whole
Everyone
team
was
looking
searching
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no way we weren't going to find that baby.
We found it.
So that's why we won.
So I
I feel like that's just
Wear the same socks, and a few of us have to take 10. But that's look good, play good, you know. Just gonna do.
And Tay doesn't like her stick on the ground.
no, I don't like
So
my stick
Tay
around.
puts 2 water bottles down and then her stick on the water bottle so that the stick doesn't touch the ground in case the ground's wet.
You know, I
Yes.
actually, just before, when we were warming up grand final, I kicked it and knocked it and I flipped out. I was like,
It's okay if it touches the ground.
Yeah.
It's just like if it's wet, it makes me feel. It just. I don't think I throw as well,
Yeah.
so I'm like, you know, I want it to feel good. But it stays off the ground. I don't need 2 drink bottles, but I bring them so it stays off the ground.
I try and make it a point of not having any rituals so that I don't stuff it up, so that I don't have to worry about it. I always try and break a habit or something beforehand.
Except you
No.
made us eat dinner all together.
Oh,
And I
that's
was
just
bored.
like making sure we all eat properly.
We were very particular about it.
I used to, when I was younger, I used to get really jammed up if I didn't do something, but now I'd like to think I've let go of that. Like, I have. I really have. Go back and do it the right way, but no, I think I've let go of it because it really, superstitions can like truly take over your life. Jesus, yeah. But one thing I'll never let go of is I put my right side of my gear on first. So I'll do my right sneaker, my right sock, and my right glove, like before I would do my left side. Yeah.
And I'm kind of like Mel, I don't really have any superstitions.
You eat garlic bread and lasagna.
Oh, I bet I don't.
That's every night.
Like it wouldn't mess up my day. I do just braid my hair the same way,
Yeah.
but I also, if I put it up in a ponytail, I wouldn't be distraught that I was gonna lose the game because my hair wasn't braided. I would feel like Sorry. She would actually probably make me take it down, Brady, and be like, you don't actually do that.
So I have to ask as a follow-up. Now, you mentioned about the whole team had to look for your hair tie. How long did that take until they found it?
Only a few minutes.
Yeah, about 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it was pretty dark at the end of the night, so it was only a few minutes. But Tate's sister found it.
Yeah,
She was the winner.
Yes, we're gonna win.
So Jade really saved the day.
Jade won the grand final for us.
She was our 16.
What would be your advice to people that should get involved in lacrosse, especially with the best club in the state?
Do it. Advice to them, just do it as soon as you can. I think as soon as anyone that I know that's ever taken up the sport at any age, they don't look back, they don't stop. And especially with our club and the infrastructure that we have here and the people, it's just, just makes it all that much better. Once you're in, you never look back. Yeah, you get for life. Once a bomber, always a bomber.
Yeah, I was the same thing. Pick it up as soon as you can. You won't regret it.
Finish off with this one last one. Now, I'm hoping you coach have let you know that we've been one of your sponsors, especially this late half of the season. How special to have the interstate sponsors sponsoring this team?
Unheard of. Amazing. That's so great.
You don't really hear of it in lacrosse because we are such a small sport. So to have somebody, so invested in our club and what we're doing and lacrosse in a whole, it's amazing to see, other people getting around the sport. It's only growing.
Well, all five of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us and tell us all about this amazing grand final, which was such enjoyable to watch on the live stream from down here in lockdown Melbourne. And well done, well deserved. And hopefully next year I'll be coming over there, hopefully, to watch you all play next season in 2022. And congratulations, well deserved. And let's hope next year it'll be another premiership come down to Brighton.
Yeah, let's hope. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us. Thanks.
No worries. And that's the Brighton Lacrosse Club State League women's team that absolutely put Glenelg to the sword in their grand final. And, of course, win another premiership down there for the Bombers in 2021. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.